And there you have it, just 26 days away from the election, and cases of voter fraud are already popping up. Thousands of suspicious voter registration cards are coming from the community activist group Acorn. Now, so far, the allegations are coming from at least, get this, 12 states. Earlier this week, authorities in Nevada seized records from Acorn after discovering fraudulent forms that included players from the Dallas Cowboys football team. And the issue is not going unnoticed on the campaign trail.
There's someone here who keeps yelling Acorn, Acorn. Now, let me just say to you, there are serious allegations of voter fraud in the battleground states across America. They must be investigated, and no one should corrupt the most precious right we have, and that is the right to vote.
Joining us now with reactions, the author of Stealing Elections and columnist with the Wall Street Journal, John Fund. Also Fox News contributor Bob Beckel back with us. Guys, welcome back to the program. Bob, well, first of all, let me ask you, John Fund, explain about this group Acorn as quickly as you can, just to give a little primer to our audience here.
It's a very radical housing lobby that was at the center of the debate over subprime mortgages. They wanted banks to put out more mortgages to unqualified buyers. They lobbied Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, got their friends in Congress to lower banking standards. They almost got a slush fund in the housing bailout bill a few weeks ago. Yeah. And Acorn is now doing massive voter registration fraud around the country. They claim it's lower-level employees. I hear it's supervisors and people higher up. All right,
Bob Beckel, we have investigations with Acorn now going on, what, 12, 13 states at this very moment here. And I went to Barack Obama's website, believe it or not, and it has, for example, lies about Barack's supposed connection to Acorn. Quote, Barack Obama never organized with Acorn. And now here's what we've discovered. Obama, in fact, paid Acorn $800,000 to the front group to get out the vote. Obama was once Acorn's lawyer in a particular case. Obama trained early in his career Acorn staff. Why would he, like in the case of Ayers, oh, it's just a guy that lives in my neighborhood. Why can't he just shoot straight and explain the association instead of dissembling and misrepresenting his real, truthful position with this group?
Well, with all due respect to John Fund, I have organized with Acorn, and despite the fact that they have a good mission, most of these chapters couldn't organize a two-car funeral, let alone a national conspiracy.
That's cold.
I mean, it is the idea that Acorn somehow is in the midst of this great conspiracy. They're probably lower-level people. Look, they
so what are they doing with the $800,000?
Wait a second. They try to register people who are homeless and people who are very poor. They get some people working for them that probably do terrible things with the forms. But look, they are not some big, massive what is going on are the people being disclosed from roles
but you
by
didn't touch
state,
my question, and we don't have a lot of time. But I asked you specifically, his campaign is denying he has any relationship with him. Just like they denied, oh, but Bill Ayers is just a guy that lives in the neighborhood. We find out he blurbs his book, he sits on boards with him, he gives speeches with him, and he started his political career at the guy's house.
What's that got to do with that?
Why does Barack have this history of associating with every radical and then lying and dissembling about it? Why?
You know, first of all, Acorn sounds like some Halloween party, number one. But number two, what is it that he did?
Well, then why did he give the Halloween party $800 grand? Why did he defend them as a lawyer if they were just such a nice, benign little group?
There are very admirable things that Acorn does.
Yeah, all right, John Fund, let me ask you this.
They've gotten a lot of homeless people into shelters. Right. Which is a lot more than I can say for a lot of people, particularly on the Republican side.
John Fund, I'm talking to a lot of people on the ground in states like Ohio, and this is what they're telling me. That especially with a Democratic Secretary of State, that there is an effort afoot right now in this campaign to see to it that people that are not qualified because they can register and vote the same day, that they are voting where they could not meet the qualifications. You wrote the book Stealing Elections. Are you concerned that there's an effort by the Obama campaign through groups like Acorn that they're funding to steal this election?
Look, I think Acorn is operating independently of the Obama campaign, but the ties are very clear. But they got $800 grand,
their front group, John.
Well, yes, but the ties are very clear in terms of Obama is approving of Acorn's message. He has never criticized them. And by the way, Bob, this group you say can't organize anything has registered 1.2 million people and has 15,000 get-out-the-vote workers ready for Election Day. They seem pretty organized to me.
By the way, John, let me point out to you that Acorn, voter registration fraud and voter fraud are two different things, as Claire McCaskill points out, and as the prosecutor has said in Seattle, there's been not one case of voter fraud, even if some of the registrants have been found to be fraudulent. And it has nothing whatsoever to do with Barack Obama, much as you would probably like to tie him to this for the purpose of this campaign.
Claire McCaskill used to... Claire McCaskill used to be the state auditor of Missouri. I can send you her report, which details incidents of actual voter fraud in St. Louis that she acknowledged when she was auditor. In addition, in Wisconsin, we have seen how actual voter fraud can happen if you allow people to register to vote and vote on the same day. Acorn is at the center of this. In Nevada, they hired felons to run their registration drive. Some of those felons had been convicted of identity theft.
Claire McCaskill, there's been no fraudulent voting,
now.
she says. The people who claim this is a huge problem who can't provide any instances where someone voted fraudulently. Has Acorn done some bad stuff? Of course. Have they done good
Alan,
stuff, too?
I'm going to
Is it
send you...
Obama's fault? Absolutely not.
Alan, I'm going to send you an inscribed copy of my 230-page book with all the evidence you need. Please read it.
As long as it's inscribed, then I'll do that. Bob, go ahead. You want to respond?
The real fraudulent voter activity is taking place with the Diebold voter machines, electronic machines, the heads of whom contribute to Republican campaigns that are dropping
those machines
tens
have
of
been
thousands
taken
of
out of
people
most
who
states.
actually vote.
You're fighting the last election.
That's much bigger than Acorn. And look, if Acorn needs some help, what they ought to do is hire the people who helped George Bush in Florida in 2000.
It sounds to me you're very worried, John, that swing states where McCain's not doing so well, you're concerned. You're already setting it up to claim that it's fraud. He didn't win because of fraud. You're concerned he's going to lose, and you're setting up a dynamic here to make that, try to make that case after the election when he loses the election.
Well, excuse me. The Democrats yelled fraud after 2000. The Democrats yelled fraud after 2004. I say there's fraud in both parties. I don't think any party is a monopoly on virtue, but I will tell you, Obama has never criticized Acorn once, even though they engage in all this activity and they constantly promise to reform.
Can you tie him to any fraud? Can you prove that Obama committed fraud?
I'm not alleging that you're making that up. I never said that.
All right, I just want to be clear. You're trying to tie him to the group.
Why
Obama was their lawyer. He was their trainer. He has worked with them. He has given them $800,000. How many more ties do you want?
So what? I mean, I've worked with them too. What does that mean? Most of those people are good, honorable people who try to get people on the low income.
You're honest enough to criticize them. Bob, you criticize them just now. Obama won't do that.
All right, wait. You guys are going to keep arguing in the green room, but we thank you very much for being with us.